Okay, people, here we are on day 13 of the launch of the IC solution on October 27, 2025. And what does the launch of the IC solution mean? Well, basically, I spent almost a decade putting together the IC solution, a new way to help people get over their addictions and anxiety and depressions and all sort of the mental and emotional toxic stuff that's going on inside our head. And I did it myself because I had to get over alcoholism and I didn't find another way. And so I created a way. And the IC solution is it, giving you a really quick recap of what that is. I'm going to pop this up on the screen. It's basically when we start to look at ourselves in a new way, through a new lens. Instead of looking at ourselves as all the thoughts and the emotions that are going on inside our head, which is kind of the default perspective, we look at ourselves in a new dimension. Like we look at the inside of our head as no longer just us, where we are our consciousness and our conscious brain. And then there's a separate entity that's plugging away, trying to get you to do something else, which we call the IC, the instinctual core. It is coded with it is backed by the brains of your genetics, your DNA, and it's using your subconscious brain as its default brain to try and get things done, to try and help you survive. But there's a huge problem. It's meant for your survival, but not survival in this world. It doesn't know how to react to this world. It doesn't know how to live here. And it does everything wrong. It screws everything up. When we start to look at ourselves through this perspective, where we are separate and there's actually a separate entity inside our brain, I know it sounds a little crazy at first, but it is crazy how well it works. When you all of a sudden start to realize that everything that's going on in there aren't your beliefs, aren't your thoughts. There's a separate entity in there. You can kind of start to realize that, okay, I don't have to go along with everything that's in my head. Because for me, I had so many crazy ass thoughts and beliefs, and I've challenged them all and overcome so much. So that's what the IC solution is in a nutshell. But I basically, more importantly, we teach you how to go about figuring out what the IC is doing. And that's what this IC user's guide is all about. Okay, but I'm just here to talk about day 13 and my progress. So that's a little bit more of a summary than you need. You can get all the facts about it that you need at theinstinctcenter.com and all at the quick start guide, the IC University, and all the support videos I'm making. Okay, but anyway, today I'm here. I'm gonna focus the videos that I'm making. Basically, since the launch, one of the things I'm doing is getting over my anxiety of the camera so that I can start teaching other people because I've got it all here and I want to get it all in there to you guys, all right? So, and one of those things is overcome anxiety and then start something new, which is following a routine. All these things the instinctual core doesn't want me to do, I'm going to start doing anyway. And at the same time, I'm kicking into a completely healthy nutrition and a new exercise program. And long, long ago, I used it to start to get rid of my alcohol addiction. And that one is coming up. I think maybe today we're going to do an awesome video to kind of explain everything that it took to how I analyzed all that the instinctual core was doing inside me, forcing me to drink until I realized it was separate from me, and then I stopped listening to it, and eventually it quieted down to just a whisper. Not eventually, in a couple weeks, when I tried for 6 years to quiet it down in other ways. But today, I want to start with separating from the instinctual core because whenever you're doing more than one goal, I kind of recommended this because all of the goals you want to reach are about first seeing that instinctual core as a separate entity because it's a new way of thinking. It's a new way of just like processing the world. It's like every time you see, like, say your neighbor comes up to you and like just shrugs you off, ignores you. And then there's something inside you that says, well, what an asshole. I can't believe you didn't even say hi. But then that's the instinctual core because there's a reason for that. Whenever there was conflict in the tribe, the instinctual core tries to predict what the other one is up to. You can you can stop processing that instinctual core and just right away ignore, like, you don't need to worry about what other people think when you are working from your conscious brain, always knowing that each individual has a whole bunch of stuff going on in their head, and they're probably not even thinking about it. And if they are, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Okay, but separating from the instinctual core, for me, the way I'm trying to achieve that is to flip one monotonous or cumbersome task each day into an exciting event. And I've been making some progress on all of these. I've had a few slips along the way. You see, the longest streak without a slip is 9. Um, but I have been making IC progress. IC progress just means you're either attending a meeting. This is my meetings until real meetings start to happen, and either doing a radar quick catch or roar. We'll get into what those mean. Don't worry. Um, but so I try to, uh, and this is just working so fantastic for me. Like one monotonous or cumbersome task each day into an exciting event. Okay, and yesterday it was every day I found something, and I'm just really having a lot more fun with life because we all have these so many chores that we just got to get out of the way. And I had chat help us out with a couple of them here: dishes, laundry, and some of us are lucky just to, if we have these options like tidy, like yard work. Not all of us have grass, so if you've got grass, that's fantastic. Dishes, laundry, sweeping, mopping, taking out the trash, cleaning bathroom, dusting, changing bed linens, wiping down surfaces, kitchen cleaning, appliances, yard work, taking care of pets, home repair, home repairs, shopping for groceries, paying bills, meal prep, cleaning out the fridge, laundry related exercises, car keep up, and it's just like it's nonstop, and it's like you can look at that list and say, "Oh my gosh, the monotony and the pain in the ass of life is just overwhelming." But if you work to take each one of those tasks and don't do them when it's basically gotten to such a mess. Just take each one whenever you have set a little bit of time aside each day where you just focus on them for a little bit. And if you focus on them and say, how can I make this fun? Like yesterday, okay, I make smoothies. But making smoothies is a big pain in the ass if you've actually got to go get the veggies and uh, make sure you use all these like $40 worth of veggies, and put them and fruit and all the other ingredients into a smoothie and make them before those veggies run out or go bad, and you're out $40 for one smoothie, right? So you're like, well, why didn't I just go to the Smoothie King and pay $12 for their sugar-filled smoothie? Um, so what I do is for about $100, I go out and buy an ass ton of veggies and spend about 5 hours. The process from beginning to end takes about 6 hours, where I make just an uh, 90, I make about 100 smoothies. And then I put them away in little dishes. Let me show you this beautiful picture of them here. See, um, I didn't have enough little containers. I close up each, but this is very monotonous, grinding all of these up in the food processor, which is somewhere down in there. And oh no, it's right behind. See, there she is. It's a huge pain in the butt if you decide to make it a huge pain in the butt. I decided I was like just getting energy to start was like I was waiting for like the instinctual core to say, "Come on, go get it, get this done. You have to get this if you want to eat healthy for the next year." And I was like, and it just wasn't happening. And I decided to let the human side, let the me take over, and said, "Look, why don't I put a time limit on it? How am I going to make this exciting today?" And as you know, let me pull up our fabulous little instinctual core a user's guide here. No, I'm going to do this next level. I'm gonna jump over here. Oh, got even better way. Chill out. Just be patient. Oh, come on. I know this. Watching this video is a monotonous task. You don't even be watching this. This is just me working on my goals. You should join me in the IC meetups and we work on goals together. But in the meantime, I'm what am going app, start new radar. I've made this fancy little thing where I can control the different elements of the user's guide that I was telling you about. Okay, so this thing is telling me, go do it, Roger, go do it. You've got, the IC is saying, you've got to get this done. I'm going to get rid of this. And it's sending me little, not, it's not necessarily fight or flight, but basically just pushing me. Go do it, go do it. Demands, get it done. And it's like, I don't want to do it. And all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Because it wanted me to attain the treat of getting something done, overcome the challenge, and for this, it was on the physiological area, went preparing food for the long term. And so I was waiting for the IC to hijack me to get it done. Boom. Because it's basic. And it was like pushing, but it wasn't even ever getting over that limit. And I'm like, screw this. I'm not going to wait until I have to. I'm going to make this a challenge. Okay. So let's knock all that out. All the demands and judgments weren't getting it done. And I said, let's make this a challenge. How can I get all this done? Not by being hijacked, but rather by turning things over to the human side, right? Letting that stuff pass through. I didn't even let it pass through. It wasn't even pushing me hard enough to get it done. I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to wait for the IC to push me, to force me to do it. I'm going to say, okay, there's a lot of ways I could have gone about it, but this time I was like, okay, I've got to go through about 20 different veggies. And I'm like, can I get it done in 2 hours? So I made it a challenge. I put intrigue to it. And to mess with these, I've got to just come on down here. Intrigue, made a challenge. Can I get it done in 2 hours? So now all of a sudden I'm in a game. I'm involved in a game. And then I put appreciation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, isn't it awesome that I can go to Sam's and Sprouts and get a whole bunch of veggies? I mean, it would be a lot cooler if I drove an hour to the farmer's market and get it done. But either way, they were organic as you can get at the big lots stores. And then I went into, and obviously this has self-improvement all over it. By making these smoothies, I'm going to have the fuel I need to at any moment just whip up a smoothie and instead of eating a bunch of fucking nachos. So then I've set it all up. And just to make things a little clear, I'm going to unselect the human path I'm going through. Or Yeah, that's a better one. The roar is when we're working in roar, instead of letting being run by the instinctual core, we're working here. And I'm going to change. I'm just getting used to this because I'm going to start using this to the double meter. This guy wasn't pushing me enough, but I decided to push myself, set up the challenge. Now I'm motivated. I've got a time limit. So it's like uh Hollywood Squares, although that's totally not the one I was talking about. It's where people got to go something on the prices, right? Dating myself. But the point is, this wasn't pushing me, and this wouldn't have pushed me because I could totally live without it. So I pushed myself, and I'm using this in the reverse way. But then it comes, boom, engagement. Okay, so I've set it up. I'm excited. I'm appreciating what I've got to do. It's all for self-improvement. No longer am I doing it because I'm forced to. I'm doing it because I'm getting involved in one of the human external reactions. Let's see if I can see one of these guys that is somewhat related. There should probably be someone that is cooking. But no, I didn't set it up that way. I kind of just stole an icon-based thing. But anyways, cooking, preparing meals, or even it could have been eating. So I'm doing this solely on the human level, right? So rocking it, and I got it done, smashed through it. Every moment I was piling through the kale and the spinach and then the cabbage and then the carrots and getting all this stuff done. And I felt this sense of purpose, right? Of getting all this done. And so yeah, it's like, and that's what I've been doing in every single event uh, that I'm feeling like I'm catching myself. It's like, oh, this sucks. I'm like, wait, does it have to suck? Maybe I can make it awesome. So that's what I've been doing. And getting back to where we were, it's like I'm trying to set all these, I'm doing all these other things, these goals that I'm trying to achieve, these overriding decisions. But the one that holds it all together is the separate from the instinctual core, is the glue that's turning every facet of my life into excitement. And now even the things like overcoming anxiety, making this video. I'm very excited to tell you about what I went through yesterday. I might be doing shitty at it because I've only been doing it for 10 days, 13 days, but you see what I'm saying. All right, so that's all I've got for today's video, but I am going to talk about this in a separate individual video because I think it's worthy of a separate individual video. And good, peace out. If you watch this video, which you didn't need to, it's just about my progress, me practicing the meetups, but if you did, like it and subscribe to my channel because I've got a whole things that aren't just my meetups, just individual lessons and ways that you can overcome anything you need to or start any new project that you're getting inspired to. But if you actually want to get working on them, come on over to visit us at theinstinctcenter.com. Peace out. Love ya.